Hello, my name is Mark Ledford, and today I'll be talking about the 10 ingredients for a grid. First, we have format, which is basically the main structure of the grid. It has different dimensions which need to be researched in order to find out what it's about. Margins is the second one we have. Margins basically is the negative space between the page's edges and the active areas of content. The goal of margins is to direct the main focus towards the main visual elements. Margins are basically the area around the main focus point. As you can tell in the first example, the areas that are blocked out on the other side of the text. And the second example is the white space around the gray. Next, we have is live area. And live area is the boundaries inside the margins where the main details are placed. As you can see, as we have it in this example, the highlighted red area would be the live area, which is where you would put your design, ad, or logo, or whatever you would like. Next, we have is the action safe area. And the action safe area is basically the entire screen and most stuff in it can't be seen. Basically, the action safe area is just, as you can tell in the example, it covers the main outline. And I know it might not, everything inside of it can't be seen. Let me rephrase it. Whatever is past the action safe cannot be seen. Right, next we have is title safe area. And this is the area just inside the action safe area, right outside the live area. In this area, things are safe like subtext or definitions of words. Usually in textbooks, in the title safe area on the very far side, you would see definitions for words and all kinds of stuff. Mainly, sometimes it'll tell you 1B or 1A if there's questions at the end of the chapter. Next, we have trim line. And trim line is basically the line where an ad needs to reach. And when the ad goes over the line, a white line can be seen, or the graphic designer would need to cut it or crop the ad. As you can tell in the example, you have the crop marks, safe area, trim, and bleed area. Next we have is bleed line, but I didn't put line in the title. The bleed line is mainly meant to let you get your ad to the very edge of the page before having to cut it, basically. And it's the exact same example as the last one, which was the trim line example. Next we have is columns, and columns are vertical sections that help designers deliver to each space equally and with intent to make a great design like in a newspaper. As you can tell in the first example, it's a newspaper article over the true story behind Pretty Woman. And as you can see, the vertical sections, or the columns, and in the second page, you can see that the columns are interrupted by a box, which I didn't really get to see what that was because it got too blurry when I zoomed in. But I believe it's another subtitle for the article. Same in the second example with the columns and then the pictures. Next we have is alley. And basically the alley is like in the real world. It's in between two buildings. And if you think of those two buildings like columns in a newspaper, the negative space between them would be the alley. Which, as you can tell in the white space between each column, that would be considered the alley. If you think of these columns as buildings, those would be alleys. Oh, alleyways. Next we have is gutter. And gutter is basically that part of the book that you can't see anything if it were shoved there. It's considered gutter because it basically is like a gutter. As you can see in the example, how that part of the gutter is. Basically, it's where all the pages come together. And you don't want to put anything, an ad or design, near the gutter or else it'll basically overlap and it'll be hard to see. And that is all. Thank you. Have a good day.